So there I am, scrolling through YouTube because what else would you do on a Sunday morning, when I come across a video, an animation meme video. What a coincidence, considering the topic. The term itself, animation meme, is a vague thing. People argue whether they're actually animations. Others say they aren't even memes. The community can be a real dumpster fire if you dig a little too deep, but we're not here to discuss that. Animation memes are short videos with music set to what is usually repetitive movements, or scenes. Because of the format, it's easy to get sucked in. Even if they're not the best quality, you don't feel like you've really lost anything until you've sunk 3 hours into listening to the same 30-second clip over and over again, 10 of which are dedicated to the title, another 20 dedicated to the obligatory amino sponsor, and then another 10 for good measure, thanking the patrons. They're catchy and inherently award people for following a formula, because that means you'll be entered into a network of similar videos that people can watch to stumble across your own. Since they're simple, or at least easily simplified, there's a lower bar for entry than trying to animate, say, your own pilot from scratch. And the more I watched, the more I began to see a few patterns. And the more patterns, the more questions. To me, there's generally two categories of animation memes. They are the animators and the illustrators, which focus on the production value of the video on animating and drawing respectively. This isn't to say they can't have overlap. In fact, the people who rise to the top often do so because they have stake in both areas, but I just need a way to label these patterns. Subcategories might include more narrative-driven content versus classic memes where you mostly see head bobbing or whatever. Both sides, particularly a lot of illustration-driven memes, will rely on editing to make their content more dynamic. But I've also seen plain ones doing pretty well for themselves too, so what do I know? But barring being good at everything, which, come on, would take way too long, which avenue is more worth your time? Should you focus on choppier but prettier art that matches your thumbnails, or sketchier but ultimately more seamless animations? The obvious answer would be to focus on what you enjoy most and capitalize on that. But let's say we just want views. Views and comments and likes. What do the people that consume the content actually prefer? This all varies per person as well, since some are better at editing over drawing and vice versa. Another thing to keep in mind is how long either method would take you. So this might not be useful to anyone but me, and only if I decide to forego whatever the hell you can call my content right now, and renew myself as a new animation meme-er. Questionable method aside, I want answers, and memes seemed simple and fun enough to do twice without me wanting to rip my hair out. Hi, this is me from the future, continuing the recording. I don't know what I was thinking, and I regret everything. So yes, I've prepared two of the same animation meme to conduct an experiment. They follow the same format with similar narrative beats, but for one, I focused my efforts on creating more polished art, relying on editing, while for the other, I focused more of my efforts on frame-by-frame animation. Once this third video that you're listening to right now is finished, my part is pretty much done. The next part of the experiment is up to you, the person watching. So, what can you do to join? Hopefully you'll like both videos, but I want you guys to interact with the video you prefer watching through liking, sharing, commenting, all that stuff. Whichever becomes more popular should theoretically get more traction, and we shall finally get the answers to my very unofficial experiment. You don't have to participate if you really don't want to. The general views have the potential to give enough information on its own. And hey, if any of you guys want to do the experiment too, that would be cool. Just tag me or something and I'll be sure to watch it. As for predictions, I'm honestly not sure. I do think the illustration one has more potential to get initial attraction because of the higher production value on the surface, but the animated one might be more fun to rewatch, who knows. It's not really a one-to-one comparison that we can do, and it'll depend on the person and audience, but whatever, this is for fun. With how my channel is now, both probably aren't gonna do that well. As a side note, I'm not going to put custom thumbnails on them for the sake of being true to the content within the video so that there's no bias, and I really don't want to lose any more sanity working on extra thumbnails, so that's that. Of course, I have my own opinions on which I like better, but I'll keep my opinions to myself so as not to sway the results. In the future, if I ever do get enough data, I'd like to do an analysis on the results. Links to both videos will be at the end, as well as the description if you prefer that. And that's about it.